this video to support my team at Panda Express. So if you work at Panda Express and you're a content helper and you're trying to move up to a chief leader, this video will be helpful for you because I will give a study guide in which I present all the questions that you're gonna get in the interview. I heard another chief leaders that they say that they never ask them anything just about personal life. But if you're not as lucky as them, or I guess if you're lucky as me, you're gonna get all these questions plus personal life questions as well. So it's better to be prepared with all this information than go to the interview and not be prepared at all, and then you have to use these questions. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is when you talk to the district manager, please always have a smile, look relaxed, and look them at the eye. Okay, never lose eye contact with them. Another tip is never use you or you know, because he doesn't know. Okay, always use I. Okay, and when you're explaining about the books, because they will ask you to read a book, which I recommend, Servant Leader. I read two books actually, which it was Who Moved My Cheese and Servant Leader, but there's another ones like 1 Minute Manager that is pretty good book as well. And well, be prepared. Take out of the whole book 3 key points that you learn, and just present to the district manager how you apply it to your life, because that's what they want to hear about. Know what the book was about, but how you put all that in practice. That's really important. Be mental prepared that you're gonna have the interview for at least 4 hours. Okay, so be prepared for talk for 4 hours. And also, when you explain to the district manager how pretty much you run the store or what you know about the store, in which I will present it like in a second when I get done talking, like the temperatures, how you check that the sanitizer buckets. You have to actually explain to him how you do it. For example, if you do the sanitizer bucket, you actually have to take the strip out and show him how you do it, which you have to count 10 seconds. Okay, don't move it, just put it straight, and you have to count aloud: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until you get to 10 seconds. Okay, so pretty much you present everything to him, you show him, you're teaching him how to do it. So when you go and check the temperature of the food, take the thermometer and just put it in the food, how you take the temperature. In a second I will present all the temperatures and what you need to know. You have to memorize all the cash handling, and it's really important that you explain each of the key, what it means, and I will pass to here in a second. One of the questions that I get, it was, where is the no sale key? And you're not looking at the register, so you have to explain to him where is it out of your mind. And also he will ask you, or she will ask you, have you teach any of your coworkers where is it and for what we use it? So the answer had to be yes. So make sure that you take one of your coworkers and show it and tell them for what it is. Also, they will ask you to pick somebody in your shift that show him where is the no-sell key. So you better pick somebody that you exactly know, that you teach that person where is the no-sell key. If not, it will ask you why you pick the person if you wasn't sure that this person know or doesn't know where it is. The interview is really challenging, and it will throw a lot of questions that to the certain point you're gonna get kind of confused and a little bit nervous. So just breathe, smile, and if you're not sure about the answer, just think for a moment. Ask them just to give you time to think. And if you for sure doesn't know, just tell them straight, I don't know. Can you explain to me? Well, I'm pretty sure after you watch all this video and you study everything that I put in this video, you're gonna be prepared for all the questions that your district manager will ask you. One thing that they probably will push you to say or to make you see that at Panda we try to help people for them to develop in their personal life, not just professional. So what we do is that we give the tools. As I'm doing it right now, I'm giving you the tools, but you're the one that have the power to use these tools to succeed. So pay attention to all the questions that will ask you, especially the book ones, because at a certain point they will want you to say this. I'm giving the tools to my team, and my team have to use them, and I'm the only one responsible of my own success. For how long we have to wash our hands? Is 20 seconds or sing twice the happy birthday? They might ask you, those 20 seconds is for the entire process or just for put soap in your hands? Well, it is for the entire process. encourage you to check the level of the oil, or, well, in other words, if the oil is still good to keep cooking. Well, there are some stripes that looks like exactly like the ones that we use for check the sanitizer. So you can find those where the vegetables are, is the right side. Pull it out, get one stripe, and carefully place it straight down to the oil. Make sure that you don't get burned. Or you can also use a tongue and grab it with a tongue and place it in the oil. Then just count 5 seconds, okay? The same thing as the sanitizer bucket. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for checking the oil. Then pull it out and then you wait 30 seconds to get the results. So you can't allow 30 seconds. Then in the tube it have the colors that it should be. You can place it there and show to the person, or you can just wait, and if you have 3 yellow stripes, that oil doesn't work anymore. If you have less than that, you can still use it. They will ask you which ones are the types of contamination, and it's physical, biological, and chemical. They will ask you to give an example of each one, which is physical. For example, a piece of hair falls in the food. Chemical, it is, for example, if we put more sanitizer than it is, so it can cause a chemical contamination, because it can cause pollution. Or if you're cleaning the windows and you spray Windex in the food, that's a chemical example also. A biological, well, it is the temperature. Okay, if we don't cook to the right temperature or maintain the food in the right temperature, it will cause biological contamination, because the bacteria can grow. What is the temperature in which bacteria can grow? Is 70 to 120. Which temperature is the danger zone? It's 40 to 140. If they ask you what is the standard for Panda, so it's 41 to 139. How many times we log the temperatures or take the temperature of the food? We log it 3 times, which is 11, 3, and 7. Which one is the temperature that the sink for the restrooms have to have? It had to be 110 or above. Always when you say that temperature, you have to say either below or above. In this case, 110 above. How about the sink that is in the office? It had to be 110 above. How about the 3-compartment sink where we wash the dishes? Well, the first compartment with the running water, it had to be 120 above. They will ask you why. Because we try to maintain the correct temperature of the water. So we let the water sit. When we let that water sit, it's gonna lose temperature. That's why when the water is running, we make sure that it's 120. So when the water, we let it sit, it can have 110 above. How about the 2-compartment where we cut the vegetables? That one had to be 120 above. They will ask you about what is the temperature of the beef on top of the chicken, and that temperature, it had to be 155. That's the beef. The chicken that is below the beef, it had to be cooked 165. They will ask you why. The answer is because the beef is dripping blood to the chicken. And I get this question and I get confused because he asked me, how about if the chicken is on top and the beef above? Why the chicken cannot be on top of the beef? The answer, it is because the chicken, we cook it longer. The beef, we have to cook it for less time. So we make sure that the bacteria is killed. And if we cook the beef, we cannot um, get to 165 in the temperature. That's why we cannot put the chicken on top of the beef. And this is the order in which we put the food. It's the cook food, then shrimp, then beef, and then chicken. Why? Because the cooked food is not gonna drip in blood. The shrimp is not dripping in blood, and we cook it for less time than the beef. Then we have the beef that is dripping blood to the chicken, but we cook it less time the beef than the chicken. Which ones are the three highest violation for EcoSure? Well, it's pest infection, no hot water, and bad sewer. What is the temperature of the walk-in cooler? It's 40 below. They might ask you, what is the temperature of the vegetables that is inside the walk-in cooler? It had to be 40 below. What is the temperature of the reach-in cooler? That one is the little fridge that are in the kitchen where we place the vegetables, for example, the lettuce for the chow mein. That one, it should be 40 below. The same thing as the meats. It should be 40 below. The walk-in freezer, it had to be 32 below, or -10, or below 0. You can say that because it had to be in the freezer point. And the same thing with the reach-in freezer. Once again, it is in the kitchen, the little fridge in which we place, for example, the egg rolls, the cream cheese have to be frozen. So that one is the same temperature as the walk-in freezer. Now let's talk about the manager key. What are the keys that is in the manager's key? It is the register key, the coincaster key, and the donation box key. Who can hold the manager key? The PCI, no, PIC, I don't know why I say PCI. PIC, the person in charge, which is the chief leader, the assistant manager, or the store manager. Whoever is the highest rank during a shift, that one is the one that holds the manager key. Send you to Kokai, which is a personal arrangement class. You have to take away 3-point keys or 3 learning keys that you have to discuss with your district manager, and you have to tell them how you apply those to your life. Make sure that you know where is the no-sale key without looking at the register, because they will ask you, where is it? And they will put you in a situation that they might ask you, what if one of your associates call you, you're off, and they're in a bad situation, in a robbery situation, and they call you and ask you, where is the nozzle key? If you don't know where is it, out of the top of your head, how are you gonna be able to help them find it? So make sure that you know where is it. And another thing, make sure that you know where is the panic button and what or why or in which case we can use them. So if you don't know what is that, it's a white box that is close to the register. I won't tell you exactly where because for secure reasons. So make sure that ask to your manager or ask the chief leader where are the panic buttons. There are three. So find out where they are. Make sure that you know the steps from OSA, which is welcome the customer with a smile and eye contact, offer sample, offer another item or upsell an item. In the register, offer a drink, ask for donation, give the receipt, and well, do table touching. Okay, that's really important. They will ask you that for sure. Also, make sure that you know the cash handling policy, and you have to discuss or give an example of every single one. So it's 9 of them. So make sure that you remember all 9. You cannot fail even one. I will tell you the first one because it can be a little bit confusing because it say banking deposit daily or daily banking deposit, something like that, but it's the same thing. And on that one, the explanation it is that before we used to take the money and go and deposit to the bank, but now we don't do that anymore because we have something called Smart Safe, in which the guard comes twice a week to pick it up the money, which is Tuesday and Friday. An easy way to remember the cash handling policy is to remember what you do when you open the store. Besides to walk the store and check out that everything is good, we used to do the bank daily deposit. After that, we count the safe. Then we open the register. You have to remember that we don't share registers. We give to the guest the receipt, so it's a guest receipt. The drawer, it had to be closed after every single transaction. Then you have to remember for what we use the nozzle key just in case of robbery. Also, we count the drawer before we go home, and the manager key, if you're the person in charge, you have to give it to the next person in charge or to the store manager. That's easy to remember, the cash handling policy. And another thing that is really important, during the day you have to make sure that you do your cash pulls. That is part of the cash handling policy. Another advice that I can give to you, it is that don't lose your mind because they will challenge you a lot. Like for example, they will ask you questions that I can say it's not part of an interview, but you have to be calm and just answer the question. That's all that I can say. Just answer the question. Don't get mad. Just calm. Give an answer. Okay. And sometimes they say after that, well, I'm just curious. So don't get mad about that either. Okay. I think that they just trying to test you how much you can take, you know, because if you explode with the district manager, whoever is giving you the interview, you can easily explode with a customer that is complaining, okay? Because they also will ask you, uh, what you do if one of your cashiers didn't give the receipt and they asking you for free food, okay? So you have to uh, be sure that you're calm down, you know, you give an answer to that question, and they will even come up with stuff like, but what if then you check the camera and the cashier actually give the receipt? So they will trick your mind, but just be sure that you're calm and give the best answer possible. They will ask you for the sanitizer. They will ask you where are the letters that it comes in the tube that have the stripes to test if the sanitizer bucket is on the right ppm, and that means those letters means part per million. Okay, the sanitizer it had to be 75 to 95 part per million. Okay, so that means ppm. Also, when you test the sanitizer, make sure that you're teaching him or her how to do it. Like, just pull it and put it straight down, don't stir it, and count aloud 10 seconds. Then check it out in the tube. It comes the colors that that teach you, you know, or show you um, where is good and where is bad. So you have to be in the middle of those two. Okay, so make sure that you do all the process correct. One of the things that you have to make sure is that you are confident. You're looking him or her at the eyes, a smile. Um, Try not to look too nervous in front of them. Talk with property. Talk loud. And even if you feel or they making you feel that you're not answer correctly, try to keep your confidence. Okay, all the time. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. Try to keep your confidence because they're looking for that. Another thing, make sure that your uniform is ironed, that you have the strip uh, in the sleeve over here. Make sure that your pants are also have the stripe on the middle, and your shoes are shiny. Okay, make sure that you looks presentable even if you're wearing the uniform. During the interview, don't move too much. Don't put your hands inside your pockets. Don't do this because this is a negative sign. Okay, just look relaxed, and if you want to talk with your hands, so you looks more relaxed while you're talking, and you know he doesn't see that you're too nervous. Please be patient because the interview can last 4 hours. Sometimes it can last 2 hours and a half to 4 hours. So be prepared mentally and psychological that you have to talk for those 4 hours. Be proactive and try to talk as much as you can because if you don't talk, they will attack you with a lot of questions and then it will put you more nervous. Another thing is that don't get nervous if they ask you, tell me more. Why? Keep talking. Tell me more. I want to know more. Just keep talking, okay? But don't get nervous because that's the purpose that they do it to see how much you can take, okay? So be confident, relax, study, and well, I wish you the best. Good luck, okay? And if you have more questions or you have a doubt about something that I talk in this video, or you're studying and something come up to your mind, just please feel free to leave a comment below, or if you know me personally, just comment me and ask me, and I'll make another video, or I will tell you like one person um, the explanation of it. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, and I wish you the best luck again, and well, see you later, future shift leader. Oh yeah, never forget, positive mind and a smile always.